What is up, guys? Welcome to a brand new video. I think I'm going to do these kind of like a pro videos as a series now and go over some smaller details or things that you should know, things that make you a lot better as a player and are going to climb way faster. Before we start, this is a video with Pro Guide, so thank you to them for editing this together for me. You can check out some guides on their site and chat stuff down below. Now, we did attack moving last time, so on the menu today is our mini-map. This isn't going to be some vague crap either, actually like how you need to use it properly to climb with and what high-elo players are going to do. Oh, before I forget as well, I did a sponsor video yesterday, so as a thank you, I'll be giving away $20 of RP. Just comment down below, like the video if you do to be entered. I'll pick a winner or two in about a week. Now, your minimap is probably one of the best tools, I guess, that you can have. There's like the basic stuff, like do I have wards, can I see people, but most aren't going to use it properly, really, and it's something that I use all of the time when playing. All of this footage on screen is going to be from my gameplay channel, by the way, so if you want to improve, definitely check that out and see it in action. I'll throw like a newish Korean tank Lee Sin build gameplay on screen and in the description where I use this minimap stuff all the time. Now, we're going to get into how to use it properly and then a few tricks to improve it as well. So there are like so many people who say look down at it, stare at the minimap to get better. That's not true at all. You can do that, but why would you really? Like, it's a waste of time normally, and unfortunately that is like the advice everybody gives, but it's just not how it works. It's like when you're learning to drive, at least in England, when you're learning to drive, they tell you to turn your head and look at your mirrors, but nobody actually does that normally. So you really want to do this out of the corner of your eye. You're only looking for a few things, really. This is the difference and the point of this video. People try to look at the whole map and take in all the information. That's way too much and too hard and not needed either. So these circles of the champions tell you a lot of things, and this is really how you do it. So the first thing is you can notice when something is different. If someone appears on the map, you should normally see that unless you're fighting yourself. You don't need to stare at the minimap either to just see a red circle appear. This is really, though, appearing where they shouldn't be. So like the mid laner appearing top or jungle top or something, it's not about who it actually is, like the champion, but there being two red circles in the same place. You can ping, you can often save people as well who just aren't paying attention. So not only is this a good thing for you, but it's actually going to help your team out as well. So that is just number one, straightforward, just noticing people who aren't where they should be and pinging to let your team know. Number two is you can actually tell when people are fighting. You can move earlier than anyone else because you should notice it first. It sounds very weird, but like normally there is a gap between the circles in lane. The two laners, right, are apart and they won't be next to each other on the map. When that changes, when those circles get very close or when they're on top of each other, you know that most likely they're going to be fighting. As a jungler as well, this is so important. Like, you can stop your camp, you can go to help them. At higher ranks for sure, junglers are attracted to fights like that, so you might need to counter gank as well. If there is one thing to work on as a jungler, I think it is this kind of stuff. Like, you get so much more information about it, you'll get so many more kills, but it is actually any lane. So you can like TP from the top lane when a fight happens, roam from mid, roam to mid from bot lane. If you watch my gameplays at all on my other channel, you often hear me say like, I think mid is fighting, so I start to walk up the river, then I move my screen to mid to check and see if I want to continue or turn back around. I probably actually get like a 5-second head start on other people just because, one, I notice first, like before health bars go down or whatever, just by positions of the circles on the minimap. If I can, I start to move like straight away, and then I pan my screen there to look at it afterwards, and then I kind of decide what I want to do. So most people who aren't using this, like your opponents and stuff, they're not going to notice straight away until health bars start to drop. Then they think if they want to move, and then they actually start to way later than you guys. This is also really important for general game awareness. So like, what's going on? Is someone being ganked? How are my lanes doing? These are things that you can keep track of literally just by seeing where those circles are out of the corner of your eye. So that's like the basic stuff, the way you want to use it. It sounds kind of dumb, I know, honestly, but this is how you should do it. It lets you keep track of like what is right on top of you, like where you are, your lane, your CS and stuff, so you can concentrate on you, but you also know what's going on elsewhere. That's really important. Those are the two main things everybody should use, but what about if you just literally suck at it and you don't ever look at the map? I've got a few things that might kind of help. So number one, if you have two monitors or you have a TV, even if you really want to go nuts, you can stick your minimap on your second screen, and that way it's much easier to notice these circles like appearing. The way that I've done this before is to use OBS to capture the game. I'll throw a link down in the description if you want to download this. This is actually like the way I record stuff. It's the way that I stream as well. You load in the game, you crop the minimap out, though increase it to full screen, and you can have like crap settings and just leave it as a preview if you wanted to. That should be less taxing on your computer, but basically it will give you a gigantic minimap from the actual game on your second monitor. It really is basically the same thing in game, right? Just having that minimap, but it's a lot bigger, so it's easier to notice things. The second way is to have an actual prompt to check the map. I don't really like this because it encourages you actually looking down at the map rather than only when something important is there, but I guess as a nice start. It does help, right? It gets you used to looking and being aware of the map. Now, you can use websites to do this, just like ping every 10 seconds or something. To me, this gets really, really annoying having like a ping off every 10 seconds, if I'm honest, but if you're terrible, you can do it and it will help. There is a less annoying version of this though, so you pick something like every new wave, every 5th CS, I have no idea, every time you fart, whatever that prompt is, and check it once that happens. I'm trying to create like a habit with you guys where you'll be using it constantly and eventually you won't need any prompts. So those are the basics. There are some more advanced ones though, like keeping track of their jungler. So this is my favorite, actually, something you can all really use and benefit from. The best example is gifting blue over to the mid lane. So you see the enemy mid circle appear back into lane from the kind of the side. Move your map over to check if they have blue. If they do, that means the jungler is most likely at their buff. This seems very obvious, and for a mid laner it is, but for everybody else it's really hard to keep track of that unless you're using this minimap trick. Basically, it's going to mean that you know where their enemy jungler is roughly. You can play more aggressive, more passive. You kind of know where their next gank is most likely going to be. Also, it's slightly different by the buff timers now that show on the minimap. So most of the time a jungler is going to be around them when they spawn. Not always, but it's a good guess. So that gives you kind of more info as well. It's also when there aren't circles on the map. This is the hardest one to keep track of, to be honest, because you're not looking for anything. You're looking for nothing, basically. It's not something that catches your eye. Really, this should be what decides how you play, I guess. Like, if everybody is missing, you shouldn't play aggressive because you have no idea. They could be right there. I think it's more important mid-game, I'd say, but if you still, like, ever get ganked by another lane or they've just been missing a while, that's actually kind of your fault. Like, yes, a ping would have been nice, or them telling you they're missing, but this is really down to you, and this is what stops that, but it's really hard. If you want to really take this whole thing to the next level, you can actually see if your lanes are winning or losing with this as well. Is my laner like pushing them in? Are they getting pushed in? These things tell you a lot, and all you're doing is looking at the circles. Even the jungle position as well. Like, all of this information can be used to your advantage. Like, if the enemy mid is pushing, then they're probably a bit stronger in the game right now, but it's going to be an easy gank or roam. If your mid laner is pushing, it probably means they're stronger, but they're also likely to get ganked. So you can ward for them, you can go there and kind of counter gank. Also, just like where your jungler is. So if the jungler is in the opposite side of the map, then he's not going to be able to help you at all. But if he's kind of like around your side of the map, then he could help you if anything goes wrong, or you could ask him to come down. So that's really how you should use it. You're looking 90% at the circles now, not the whole map, just the circles and where they are, and looking for specific things. Like, if they're close together, right, it normally means they're fighting. So you might want to move to that lane, pick up a kill afterwards, like a mop-up kill, or kind of turn the fight around. If someone is where they probably shouldn't be, then it means there's getting a roam or a gank. You can take a dragon on the other side of the map. You can try and help the lane that is being ganked. Even just like lane position, or like if somebody's missing, all of these things can massively help you in a game. And normally when you die, it's probably because your minimap awareness wasn't as good as it should have been. So that's basically how most players use it. Like, that gives you all the info you really need to play the game, and it will make you massively better, I promise. Your roams will be more effective, you'll die less, you'll probably get more kills actually, and you'll save your teammates hopefully as well. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and learned something. Let me know what should be next in this kind of like a pro series, and thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a good weekend, and I'll leave you with the robots.